Hey there, this is John Henny. I am a voice teacher and the author of Teaching Contemporary Singing. And today I am going to be analyzing and reacting to Morissette singing Never Enough from The Greatest Showman. I did my first Morissette reaction video a couple of weeks ago, and I was just blown away by her voice. So I'm looking forward to hearing this one. Once again, she's seated on a bus, which didn't seem to slow her down at all with the last song. Let's see how she does.
I'm trying to hold my breath.
Wish 1075.
Let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream with me.
I love just the delicate approach here at the beginning, just bringing her vocal cords together enough to give a little core to the sound, but not so much that it overwhelms this beginning. It can be tricky to sing that light, because sometimes when you go light, you can go over breathy really easily, and she seems very much in control of it.
Getting louder now.
Goes a little louder.
Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand. Will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough.
She's doing this wonderful flip from her lower, or what's often called chest register, even though she's in there very lightly. Then she's going to her upper register, or head voice, and she's letting that over-release or flip, as voice teachers may say. And essentially the vocal cords are going from pressing together with a little more intensity to just touching on the edges, that and she does that really, really nicely. Now, singers train in order to not have that flip, but good singers will bring it in for style, and she's certainly doing that here.
Towers of gold,
that's a nice mix there.
These hands could hold the world, and it'll never be enough.
Beautiful.
Never be enough for me. Never, never.
Beautiful.
Never, never.
Now, just that word, never, the English word, it ends on that sound. But you can't sing that. It's really quite an ugly sound. And an R, an English R, that hard R, it doesn't have a lot of high, bright sound in it. If you put it on a computer and analyzed the sound wave, an all the brightness kind of falls out of it. That's why singers don't really use it. So she has to sing never. But you still hear the word. She modifies the word so she can sustain it and get that beautiful tone, but you still hear it as never. Singers have to use slightly different versions of words than in speech.
Never, never.
It's never.
Never for me, for me. Never enough, never enough, never enough for me.
That, oh my gosh, up on that E, that's just a fantastic, voice teachers will debate. You have your chest voice, and then you have this area where you're blending into your upper register head voice, and voice teachers will call that area a bridge or passaggio mix, and she's right at the top of that going into her head voice, but she doesn't go into that light hooty head voice. It's a really belty head voice that she's going into. And you notice that vowel, she has to keep it a little bright, never in nah. If she took that vowel too narrow, it would flip there. It wouldn't have enough energy. However, if she took it too open and too wide, then it would start to yell and it would start to grab. And she's like right in the center. It's just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to take it back. Listen to that.
Never enough.
You got the depth of the but then you've also got a fraction of in the sound for that bite and intensity. It's wonderful vowel adjustment.
Never enough for me, for me, for me.
Now, the word me, E is a funny vowel. E doesn't really like to belt, because the tongue comes very far forward on an E when you say it. And the mouth resonator, because the tongue's all jammed up in there, becomes a little too small, and there are acoustic reasons why it's a hard vowel to belt. Now, she takes this really open to may, and that in some circles is considered a cheat. And I would call it a cheat, except I know that she can do that with more of a traditional sounding E vowel. So she's doing this as a stylistic choice. And I think in the original song, the singer does that. And so I think she's echoing that. So she takes that more to May, but she just nails that vowel. Beautiful.
All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough. Be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands can hold the world, and it'll never be enough. Never be enough.
I know you're yelling at me for pausing it, but I gotta point something out that she does so wonderfully. Is the control of her larynx. It's an Adam's apple in a man. A lot of times when singers are belting out high notes, they let this creep up a little too much. And what happens is the sound becomes a little shallow, a little overbright and shrill. And very often when people are learning to sing, they can't control this. As they go up, it wants to and come up as they sing. And it takes a while to learn to keep this stable, to keep some depth. And what that does is your vocal cords are here. And if this larynx is a little more stable, a little more here, the tube that the sound resonates through is a little longer. It brings out more depth and richness as opposed to it being there and you start sounding like SpongeBob. So she keeps her larynx, she keeps this nice depth. That's why her voice is so rich. Now you can have a higher larynx and be really loud and belt, but you're not going to belt with the richness that she has. I'm going to take it back a little bit. I want you to pay attention to just how the depth and richness in her voice.
Enough, never be enough.
Oh.
For me,
And there's an E vowel that's not cheated, a real E. And that's harder to do than the May. The May's a little easier to belt. She nails that E vowel. Fantastic.
Wishclusive
And
on Wish.
to be able to belt that high and hard, I just banged the whole table, I'm so excited. To belt that high and hard and then come back with a note that delicate shows you that she's not hurting her voice. Because if she'd been screaming that, it'd be very hard to do that delicate note at the end. And she just does that wonderfully. I mean, she's able to pull her voice back immediately. You hear how she does that?
Wishclusive
Beautiful.
on Wish.
Yeah. Yeah, those E flats, those just phenomenal. Just that is solid vocal technique with a beautiful voice that was given to her at birth. And she's developed that and worked it into just a wonderful instrument. So she has what was given her genetically combined with the work that she's put in to build up just this absolutely commanding control of her instrument. I really enjoyed that. Hey, if you want to know more about me, please visit my website, johnhenny.com, and be sure to subscribe to my podcast, The Intelligent Vocalist, where I talk more about this voice science stuff in depth. Talk soon. Bye-bye.